European Union foreign ministers have been meeting in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, in their first summit outside the bloc's borders. The EU's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, described Ukraine as a future member of the Union. He said they were meeting in Kyiv to show solidarity with the Ukrainian people. Zein Basravi joins us live from Lubny in Ukraine. Zein, the symbolism there, very strong. To see the EU's top diplomats in Ukraine, what are they saying?
That is exactly right. This is certainly one for the history books. Kyiv has long been a place since the war began for turnstile diplomacy. We've seen senior leaders, defense ministers, everyone come through just in the last week. But this is certainly one of the largest meetings, if not the most significant we've seen, perhaps since the war began. All 27 members of the European Union. Only 3 of them sent lower-ranking officials, most of them sending their senior-most foreign diplomats to Kyiv for this meeting, and perhaps the largest show of European commitment to Ukraine. Josep Borrell saying that the Russian war in Ukraine is an existential threat, not just to Ukraine, but to the European project, and making it clear, as he has said before, that Ukraine's future is in the European Union, and this is perhaps the clearest symbol of that happening, the first meeting happening outside the EU in Kyiv. Now, they say that they will be discussing increased military aid to Ukraine. They are expecting to come up with the new plan going forward for 2024 and 2025 by the end of this year, and they will be discussing that military aid as well as all forms of civilian aid to the country in meetings. We're expecting a press conference in coming hours with some sort of announcement. And we know that they'll be talking about new plans for things like artillery, ammunition, crucially air defense, something that President Volodomyr Zelenskyy of Ukraine has been saying he needs more of from supporters of the war, of Ukraine's war effort. And they will also be discussing training. Now, the bulk of Ukrainian troops being trained militarily for all kinds of tactics, air defense, on military aircraft as well as tanks are being trained in the EU. They'll also be crucially discussing local domestic defense production that Europe has promised Ukraine to help to modernize and develop here in the country.
Zein, this war started a year and a half ago. Why are they doing this now?
Well, timing and geography, timing and location are crucial in politics. Having this in Kyiv is obviously very symbolic, but the timing, it comes just a day after the United States Congress passed a bill and removed Ukraine from its latest spending bill. It also comes just shortly after Slovakia got a pro-Russian government in place, bolstering Hungary that was also there. That was already quite against EU policy when it comes to Ukraine. We're also seeing that this is just weeks after a great deal of discord between Ukraine and several EU countries with regards to Ukrainian grain that was ending up on markets, pitting them against one of their closest allies in the war, Poland. So this really does symbolize at a crucial moment that if there was ever any question about allies wavering on their support for Ukraine, this illustrates to Ukraine, to the EU, crucially to Moscow as well, that the EU, the majority of EU countries speak in one voice when it comes to supporting Ukraine in this war for the long term.
Zein Basravi reporting from Ukraine. Thank you very much.